reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Tuesday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown, Anthony Hartwig, alongside DJ Oakley. We have a packed show for you today. We are going to have Troy Davis, the head coach of the Louisville Football Leopards, on at 12:15 to talk about their big win over Green, 27-23 on Friday. I know DJ's excited for that one. We're also going to be live on the show, Brianna Holt, the senior leader of the Springfield girls soccer team, a little bit later on the show at 1:40. So it'll be a good way to close it out with an interview. But we're also going to share interviews with you guys that we were able to gather over the last day or two with Grace Hour from Crestview, Abby Imps from Crestview, and then the quarterback of the Garfield G-Men, Eric Geddes, as well.
Yeah, I am excited for Troy Davis. I'm excited for all those interviews you did, Anthony. One thing I got to talk to Troy about, ring the damn bell. I'm so excited. I picked Louisville. I mean, I was being company guy, if I'm being 100% honest, but I think I was the only guy that picked Louisville in that game against Green, which is really orange, which is really green. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm so proud of this Leopard squad, just living up to the YSN and obviously representing us very well as they always do. So congratulations to the Leps.
And the win actually put them, in the hunt to the playoffs. They're sitting 18 right now, and with the schedule they put together, one or two more wins could lock them into a seat in the playoffs.
Let's just enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? Enjoy the moment. One game at a time. One game at a time. And then,
that is a big win for Louisville. Second win on the season, but I think that was the one that they came in, and like you said, a lot of people were picking Green in that matchup. They didn't listen to the noise. They put their heads down, and they made the plays they needed to make. And can't wait to talk to Coach Davis a little bit later about how proud he is of his group and how much that program is really just making that turn, because, we know Louisville football, they are so used to winning. They're not going to struggle for long. And you start to see them start to make that little turn towards back towards where the tradition of that football program really lands.
These cats are bananas out there. I mean, they lose their mind like I'm losing my voice right now. Just thinking about Louisville sports, the volleyball team with a big win last night. The football team, the momentum in Louisville right now is palatable. I mean, if you don't know what that word is, look it up, because you can taste the victories in Louisville right now like it's the Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's got the 7 secret ingredients, and they are just nibbling on all of it.
While we're talking about Louisville, let's also give a shout out to their girls soccer team who got the win last night, and you can find a recap of that game on ysnlive.com. They had 3 goals from 3 different people. Alyssa Schilling got an assist from Sammy Betty, and then Sammy Betty went and assisted Schilling on her goal. So they kind of assisted each other in back-to-back goals in the first half, and then in the second half, Paige Folk added a third goal at the 13:20 mark of the second half. Leopards got the win over Alliance 3-0, 9-5 on the season, and they have 2 games left on their schedule, both at home. They will be back at home on Saturday to host Talmadge. So the Leopards are winning on all fronts, winning on volleyball, winning on football, winning on girls soccer. It's a good day to be a Leopard.
I know Terry Horn, the athletic director out there, has to be super excited about her team's really kind of turning that corner, feeling good about, how things might end up towards the end of the season. The volleyball team, it's been a struggle this year. However, they get their third win of the season last night rather. And, they things keep on rolling. And it's just, we know better than anybody, right? It's brick by brick by brick. And you just build that foundation. So that way in years and weeks and months and decades to come, it's going to be right there for the taking. So congratulations, Louisville, on making the strides to be an impact team moving forward.
Tomorrow is golf day. Brian Tolnar to come on, and I know he loves it when we talk golf. Most districts are happening this week, but the Division I girls schedule.
There might be a little wrinkle in your plan, my friend, because I think we might be going out to Mill Creek on Thursday. So we might have Brian be on Thursday since we're going to be out there anyway. I got to talk to him and make sure that it still works for him. But they're doing Project Hope right now, today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And we're trying to get out there Thursday for our shows. Obviously, this will be the only show on Thursday other than YSN Primetime, which is in Lisbon this week. So I didn't want you to get too far ahead of yourself. This is breaking stuff, so I wanted to make sure that you knew that.
I was just going to give Brian a shout out because, he loves it when we talk about golf, and we had some golf results come in from last night. The last sectional, I believe, to get results in was the Division I girls sectional in Old Avalon, and Boardman was able to qualify for districts as a team. They finished fourth, just one stroke behind the third place team, and also one stroke in front of the fifth place team. Stone Monroe Falls, they were able to beat by one stroke. So Boardman able to advance to districts by a nose. And also Canfield's Jocelyn Zhao advances to districts as an individual with a round of 82. She tied with Sophia Rivera. So whether Canfield won the team, spot in the sectionals or Boardman, either way, we are going to get a representative from the other team to get in the district. So congratulations to the Canfield girls for a great season and Jocelyn Zhao for advancing in the districts, and then obviously the Boardman girls as a team, they advance into districts led by junior Sophia Rivera shooting an 82, and also Zoe Fick Mills shooting an 89. They also had contributions from everybody. So Boardman girls finished fourth. They advanced to the districts, which is October 13th. Geez, I got to remember the name of this golf course.
It's a lot to break down.
I know. The name of this golf course, it was one that I had never heard of. The Division I districts are a little bit off the beaten path when you think about how much you have to travel.
Well, let's face it, Anthony, you're not exactly getting out there on the links every other weekend.
No. I'm starting to get myself familiar with the local ones, though. I've written about Old Dutch Mill a lot, and Old Avalon and Lakeside, and all those courses.
You should go out with us and just take it in some of these like. Because what I've learned is while golf is very fun, it's almost just as fun just being part of that foursome or three, whoever it be, and just taking part in the debauchery that is the conversations.
I can be the commentator to all your swings. Sit back and just take a drink in. Don't let me drive the golf cart though. Brookledge Country Club in Cuyahoga Falls will be the site of the Division I district meet on October 13th. Canfield, some other YSN teams, Canfield finished 7th as a team in sectional, so once again, congratulations to them on a great season. Austintown finished 12th in sectionals. Howland finished 14th, and Hubbard finished 16th. Only two girls were able to golf for Hubbard, so that's why you see them a little bit low as a team, although their actual players represented pretty well. When you only have two golfers, you're not going to get a great team score.
I'm baffled by it. Like, Brian has to lead me through how all this stuff works. Mm-hmm. We're trying to figure out because he was saying that there was, maybe it might have been Gary that was saying that there was a team that actually had the best scores and they didn't even qualify for districts. Like both guys shot 80, I want to say.
Right.
They had the top score. It might have been Struthers. And Chazzy Cognac, yeah, it was one of them. And they didn't qualify as a team, but the individuals will qualify to move on, which that's the most confusing stuff I've ever heard in my life. It's a team sport, but it's not, but it is.
Probably because the team you take, I think this is my understanding. I'm not an expert at all. So Brian will probably come up on Thursday or Wednesday whenever he comes on and be like, Anthony, you're completely wrong. But I think they take the top 4 scores of the team and then and then drop the 5th. And then if you're tied, obviously you get the 5th card.
It's not a high score, low score thing.
So I don't. Maybe Struthers, they have those 2 golfers, but the other ones just didn't compare well to the other teams. So they're able to advance as individuals into districts, but maybe not the team itself able to advance into districts, because you have four teams advance, and then the 4 individuals that are not on qualifying teams advance.
Can you imagine if they did that in all sports? Like, you know what? Basketball team, you lost.
But your point guard's really good.
Yeah, your point guard scored 36, so he's moving on. But the other 4 guys, sorry about your luck. You're out. Or baseball, like, your pitcher stinks, but your third baseman is money. So we're taking him. He's going to districts, but the rest of you guys, you're sitting it out. That's wild to me. But golf is an individual sport that they've kind of merged and want to do team sports with, which is cool with me. It's just another one of those really cool, like, bumps on the log that make it so unique.
And you say the same, you mean it happens the same way in track. You could have a couple of really good runners that are, individually advancing to districts, regionals, and state, but it's really hard to get a team.
Yeah, but
unless you're named McDonald, it's really hard to get a team to advance.
Right, but like a 4x4 relay. You can't just take 3 out of the 4 guys and be like, you know what, this guy sucks. You're out. We're going to replace you with a kid from this school. It makes sense, but it doesn't. It's just really unique. I like it, and yet I'm still kind of scratching my head like, okay. Like, Chazzy Cognac is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Like, Nate Kelly, another. Like, there can be more. You got the BOAT and the GOAT. The best of all time and the greatest of all time. And you can decide for yourself who that is. Those 2 cats, I would not be surprised if one of them or both of them are someday playing on Sundays for a whole lot of money. And hopefully they donated a little bit to YSN.
I love how Chaz, we talked to him early on in the season about playing golf and football at the same time and shining in both those sports. There's such opposites in the mentality. Golf is such a gentleman's game, and it's such a kind of, I don't want to say relaxing, but it's almost like individual, mentally tough, and you're only worried about your own score. And then football is such a team game, and you have to kind of switch mindsets quickly going from golf to football. It's really cool that he's able to do that so well.
I see my dude. I see him in the green room. There he is. Hey, Coach Davis.
How we doing, guys?
Troy Davis, he is coming off of a 27-23 win over Green. Coach, thank you so much for the time.
Hey, no, I appreciate you guys having me.
What? Can I just ask, what was it like for you? We talked about this weeks ago when we did prime time from Louisville. What was it like for you to have those kids, to have the experience of ringing the dang bell?
I'll tell you, it was a magical night. We had it was phenomenal. I told our kids after the game that, that was Leopard Nation. They experienced Leopard Nation at home. I got to ring the victory bell. The stands were rocking. The press box was shaking. It was a great night.
One of the things we know about Louisville is no matter the result, work ethic is never questioned about your kids. What was it like to finally get to show them that the work ethic is going to show results, and they were able to get a win and see the results that all their hard work is kind of getting them to?
Yeah, I was so proud of them. I'm telling you, they work so hard. They play a difficult schedule, and they're down 20 points in the middle of the third quarter. We knew that when we got an opportunity to run the ball and do our thing, we were going to be all right. And we opened up that first drive of the second half with a fumble after a 7-yard gain. Get the ball back. We just take it down the field. Our kids just, I reminded them yesterday that, you just never give up, keep plugging away. You can't score 20 points on one drive. You have to score 7 at a time. And they had faith. There was, honestly, on our sidelines, there was really never a question that we were going to do it. we just made it really dramatic in doing it.
Well, that's the funny part is you say on your sidelines, I feel like, now I want to put this on the record. I picked Louisville in this game.
Appreciate it.
Now,
Good
whether
job.
whether it's a company guy move or not, I picked you guys. But it has to feel sometimes this season where it's been Louisville versus the world.
Yeah, honestly, we had some breaks go our way on Friday night, and we're in a lot of games where a break here or there doesn't go our way. So we were appreciative of that to have a little bit of luck on our side. With luck and opportunity together, we were able to do it. But yeah, I mean, we're an uphill battle, and our kids just really, I mean, they felt that win. It was different than any other thing that we've been experienced.
In that uphill battle, knowing the task that's in front of you every week with the schedule you've put together, how do you keep your kids confident, and what kind of things do you guys do as a staff to make sure that no matter the result, they are confident in their own abilities to go out there and win on Friday nights?
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of this schedule I inherited, so it wasn't necessarily what I put together. But in terms of we do the typical coach thing, like it's 1 week at a time, it's one play at a time, it's that kind of thing. But it really does mean more. I played football all my life. I played high school, college, all that kind of thing. Been coaching for a long time, and you always say it's one game at a time. But this group of kids, they really believe it. Our staff really believes it. We can't look ahead at the fact that Glen Oaks next week, and then Notre Dame, and then Lindsley or Hoover, Perry, whatever's coming next week. It's just us and the opponent we have this coming week.
Is it challenging for you and for the guys to kind of keep that in check? I mean, now that you're being looked at, and I'm sure the guys look at computer points, and I'm sure you look at computer points, just to be aware of where you're at and kind of start doing a little bit of math yourself, I'm sure, as you do. Is it hard to stay in check in one game at a time, or is it a challenge for you to kind of keep everybody compartmentalized?
Well, it's always a challenge. I feel like sometimes I'm a little bit of a psychologist for our guys, in terms of walking them through things. But not having a league, you really have to hang your hopes on making the playoffs, and so because if you get out of playoff possibility, it's hard to keep the guys excited about an end goal, and we don't have a Week 10 rivalry. We don't have a lot of the things that other teams have, so. We looked at the math mid-season. We set the guys down. We made some changes after Week 5 and try to put guys in a better position to win. And we said, here's the math. If you do these things, this is what you can achieve. And even after the tough Perry loss, I looked at the guys. They put a great first half. I just said to them, I said, our goals are still there. We have to continue to go to work and go after those goals. And we can't get our goal other than doing one step at a time, which was green.
I want to let you bring up one of your guys because Charlie Roberts has been so impressive this season. He's a dog on the field, able to do so many things for you guys. What have you seen from him this year, and how proud are you of him and his work ethic?
Charlie is a typical Louisville kid. He's a hard worker. He plays above his head, which we love. That's what Louisville's been known for forever, is guys that will go 48 minutes or as long as it takes. But Charlie is a true leader. I know that he had some setbacks at the beginning of the season. He fought through. He never lost his focus on his team leadership, what he was going to bring to this team, and where he was going to take this team. And he got the opportunity to play against Perry last week at quarterback. And right off the bat, he goes downfield, takes the team down for a score, comes back, same thing. Second half we got out of who we were as an offense. We put him in some bad situations, and it is difficult. It bounced right back. Calls me, I want to say Saturday morning, asked to come in Sunday and throw on the field this past Sunday. Comes in with his brother. He's out there practicing. He is everything you want as a coach in terms of a football player.
Who were you most excited for? I mean, is there a group or just, I mean, was it the coaches? Was it the seniors? Was it the kids in general? Was it the community? Whenever that, I mean, I was going to say it had to be a lot, but like, when you and I talked before, you're a guy that bleeds Louisville. You understand Louisville, the community, the ideals that this team and this community has for this particular football team. Who were you most excited for when you laid your head to rest on that Friday night?
Yeah, for our seniors. I mean, and for them to be able to, they work so hard. And I've told them, a few weeks ago that no senior group has ever played a more difficult 3 years of football for Louisville. And and so I was so proud of them to be able to experience that and know what it feels like. And we just talked about it again last night as a team. We're like, this is what it feels like. You got a new set of expectations now. The community knows you can do it. Your teammates know you can do it, and now you just have to continue to do that. But yeah, when I went to bed on Friday night, I was so happy for our kids. Just our senior group to know that they were able to accomplish one of their goals. And one of their goals was to get a win at home. And I know that sounds small, but in our schedule, that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
And so, now from there, they continue to move forward. But yeah, for our seniors, I was also happy for my wife because she gets to live with a guy who's not just like, all weekend until you hit that rebound where you're going to regather yourself for Monday. So, she got a reprieve too.
And you talk about winning at home, and I know every school has something about their field and something about their facility and their school system that makes it feel like home to them. What does Louisville and that atmosphere on Friday night make it feel like a home game for you? And how excited were you to kind of win at the home field?
I'll tell you, I mean, Louisville's got an incredible feel about it, as you guys know, being there. But you know, fireworks are going off and all those kind of things, and just you see the students charge the field. It's such a tight stadium. You got people so close to you. You could hear everything as we were coming down to the end. It's just like I said earlier. It's small town America at its best, and it's just I feel privileged to have grown up here and be able to coach here.
Do you feel the tables turning, the momentum shifting? I mean, is that one of those like during the game, after the game? Now, is practice different this week? Are the kids responding a little bit differently after a win like that? I mean, you talk about how tough this schedule is. Green is no slouch. There was a lot of people that were completely looking over you guys, and I think you, unfortunately and fortunately, are now on the map, my friend.
Yeah, I said it to the kids yesterday. I said you've been noticed now, and there is a new energy and there's a new belief, and you do anything, just like if you're trying to diet on your own, when you see results, you know that you can continue to do that grind, and those results Friday night um, give our kids some confidence, some swagger, some feelings of we can do this. We were up against. I told them, I said, I've been around this program for 20, I think 27 years, and there's been three big comeback wins like that, and that's one of them. And for kids to do that, modern kids to do that, when it's really easy to say, you know what, we've got a one-win team. We're down 20 points, middle of the third quarter. We're not supposed to win. Let's just do what we can do to get out of here. And it was not them. That was not them.
All right, now we have to talk about this upcoming matchup with Canton Glen Oak on the road on Friday. I'm sure you've had a lot of time to see them on film and see what they bring to the table. What kind of challenges do you think you face with Glen Oak, and what kind of things do the Leopards have to do to win the game on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, they're incredibly athletic. They do a lot of things really well. They got some real playmakers. And so we're going to have to contain their speed and their athleticism, try to make them drive the field, not give up big plays. And then offensively, we have to execute again. And we have to make them play 40 minutes of triple option and see if they can remain disciplined for that time. And that was kind of the same thing last week, is we made a real commitment to run and veer, midline, trap, speed, and make them play that for 48 minutes to see if they could. So, hopefully we'll be able to take care of the football like we've been able to for the last couple of weeks, and make them be disciplined, and we'll see where it goes. But we're excited about it. It's a return to Glen Oak, and last year they came into our stadium, got us at a downtime, and we just come off of a tough loss to Green last year, and they came in and they handed it to us, and our kids have not forgotten that.
Is there a situation where, and as a football coach or as a football player, that you look at this and you go, okay, we don't just have to stop them now, they have to stop us?
Well, yeah, you know what? And in terms of our offensive line Friday night, they were possessed, and they wanted to keep grinding. We ran a play at the end of the third quarter with 1 second left because we wanted to get that snap in, and we were moving the ball with Davide and Ramsey, and our offensive line was just owning the line of scrimmage. So those guys are they've got a new hunger, and desire, and so yeah, they're definitely they want to be repeat. They want to repeat. They have that feeling of, okay, we got one win now. Now let's be different than what we've been in the past, and let's continue to roll.
All right, I have one more for you, and my last question is, because we're looking at growth of this program, what aspect of the game have you seen the most growth in this year from week one to now getting that win at home last week against Green?
Yeah, like our kids are great workers. We had an unbelievable off season. So their work ethic is typical of Louisville kids, and that's not been different. But what has been different is we've grown in. We put in a new offense and a new defense this week, or this year. I'm sorry, and so we are now getting comfortable in both things. And our JVs have had big wins the last 2 weeks against both Perry and Green. And so we're starting to absorb the offensive system, and we're starting to absorb the defense and understand how that feels to run those two machines. And those have been huge for us this year.
Okay, so the last question for me, I'm still trying to figure this out myself. So if you can educate me or bring a light to this, please do. What would a playoff push mean for this team? Because every time Louisville's in the playoffs, it's a different beast. It's a different leopard that's taking the court, taking the field, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the playoffs here in Louisville, earning our way into the playoffs would be phenomenal. I mean, I was on the coaching staff that went to the state finals. I remember taking the bus through town and people getting out of their cars and clapping for us. It's a Louisville is its own, beast of football and spirit, leopard nation. But when it goes to the playoffs, it's a whole nother element. And so we want to do that. We want to get there, and we want to be able to be like those other teams that have done so well. And like we talk a lot about the fact that we don't get to play a lot of Division III football. So being able to get into Division III and in the playoffs, that would be huge for us. And we know that the position we would get into if we make it in, we're going to play a really tough football team. But we feel like if we get in there, we're going to be a really tough football team too.
Coach, we know you're taking it one game at a time, but we're rooting for that. We're rooting for you. Thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it so much. Good luck this week and the rest of the season, and we hope to talk to you again real soon.
Sounds great, guys. Thanks for having us on. Thanks for covering us.
You're the best, Coach. Thank you.
Troy Davis, Louisville Leopards, they are all of a sudden find themselves mathematically into a playoff push. But I like the work ethic of Louisville, and I like the things that he said about just keeping it one game at a time. Like we always joke, media is allowed to look ahead. Coaches and players try to keep it right in the forefront, and they're doing a really good job of that.
Don't sleep on the Ville, baby. Don't sleep on the Ville. Don't sleep on the catch. Snake will bite. And so are the Leopards.
But it's because you have to, and he brought it up too, you have to play 48 minutes of disciplined defense against them. And when they start to get comfortable in that offense and they start to execute it to their level in that triple option, it's really tough to defend. You can't really practice it. You can't do that kind of stuff in practice. You can't block like a triple option is supposed to block in practice. It's hard to simulate, to prepare for. And if they're executing it on their end, then it's really hard to defend discipline wise for 48 minutes. So like he said, they're starting to really get comfortable in the offensive scheme, and that should make everyone a little bit scared of the Leopards.
Yeah. X's and O's, It's about the Jimmies and Joes now. This is about enthusiasm. This is about kids believing in themselves. Listen, we saw this last baseball season with Louisville, and look what they did. They won on a run that was history making. In so many, they were the last one standing for YSN. Nobody saw that coming.
Right.
Now, Coach is right. They've got some D3 talent, even in the YSN family, that's going to be waiting for them. But again, we talk about South Range all the time, playing that independent schedule. Why were they so good that year that they played an independent schedule? Because they prepped up. They knew what they were going to have to do. Louisville's doing the exact same thing, and they've been doing it for a long time. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when Louisville, if they get in, and according to DJ Oakley, when they get in, make some And I mean a lot of noise.
And I like that wry smile he had when he said, "You don't get to play a lot of D3 football." So he knows that if they do, it's going to be, hey, we've kind of played teams that are bigger than this.
It's such an easy conversation with your players because you go, we played this, like, this is who they have for us. We played Perry. We played Green. You beat Green. And we get this guy? Go get him.
And you don't want to hit matchups, but Green beat Glen Oak, so who knows?
I like this team. I like Troy Davis a lot. I like this team a lot. Charlie Roberts, one of my favorite. He's a YSN kid. All right.
Yeah, he's a dude.
Let's not beat around the bush here. He's a YSN kid. He's like the chosen son of your sports network. So yes, we're gonna give him a little bit of love, but he's been waiting for his moment. He's been waiting for its time to shine. He's the center fielder, the quarterback now. And he's going to be a politician. We're going to be calling him governor someday. So, Charlie, I'm so proud of you. This whole team of Leopards, we are so proud of you for battling, because he's right. We've talked about this. It's such a challenge, Anthony, in this day and age, to just go fight when you're down, because it's easier to just go, you know what? We're good. We're good. We'll just, we'll move on to the next one. No, this team battled back. They showed grit. They showed determination. I'm telling you, Louisville is an old school, old soul town. And these kids are not necessarily buying into the new flavor of the week like the majority of kids are nowadays, and saying, you know what? If we lose, it's no big deal. That's just a week closer to my next, what I'm going to do next week. No, like it means something to win a game like that in Louisville.
And I think people in our area don't understand that even though Louisville is bigger than a lot of the other teams that we cover in YSN, a lot of the other teams in the YSN family, in their area, they're that small team. They're that small,
they're
small
South Range. Team. They're South Range.
So they're always looked down on, and that's what gives them that extra grit, that extra fire when they play these teams like Glen Oak and other teams out of the Canton and Akron and Massillon area. They kind of feel like they're the little brother, and they don't like being pushed around. So they work their butts off to make sure that they can get a punch in on Big Brother every now and then.
Listen, there's so much school pride. Nobody's ever going to tell anybody at Louisville that their kid is second-rate anything. Like, Louisville thinks they are Rocky Balboa. They think they can take on anybody, anytime, anywhere, put them in a parking lot, gloves, no gloves, doesn't matter. They're going to throw haymakers, and they proved it on Friday.
That makes them dangerous. That makes anybody dangerous. Let's keep it with football, because we have an interview to play with we talked about Charlie Roberts, a new quarterback. This guy's a new quarterback for Garfield. He's taking the spot of Brody Swagonski, who did a lot of great things in Garfield last year. Eric Geddes gets his time to shine as the QB of Garfield, and that program keeps on rolling. Just one loss on the year, and it was a heartbreaker to warn JFK on a walk-off field goal, a walk-off two-point conversion, I should say. JFK is just, the number one team in the state in Division 7. So not a totally terrible loss for Garfield as they continue their rampage into the MVAC. Let's hear from their starting quarterback, Eric Geddes, and what he had to say about this Garfield program. Anthony Harwig here with a Garfield football player profile. I am joined by Eric Geddes, new QB1 for Garfield this year. Eric, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
And like I said, you step into the role this year as quarterback, and that's a role where you obviously have to be a leader as soon as you step on the field. So what has it been like for you to transition into this role and try to take it over as best you can?
Oh yeah, I mean, Brody, he like taught me everything. My freshman year, I was behind him. He just took me under his wing last year, just taught me how to read coverages. And then he goes to college, and he's still texting me, asking questions if I need help, like how to read the film or anything like that. So he's just always been there.
What do you think is the biggest piece of advice he gave you in the summer going into this job and taking over this role?
Just to be you, like read your keys, like know what receivers are running and all that, how to read coverages.
All right, in this offense, they like to run a lot, which means you get to also carry the rock and run that kind of offense. What kind of runner would you describe yourself as? Do you like to be physical? Are you fast? Are you one of the guys that can make people miss? What's your running style like?
Yeah, I think I'm a pretty good runner. I'd say I'm pretty fast myself, but yeah, our
Uh,
running back group is just like,
oh, I was going to ask that next. I mean, this
yeah,
running back room in Garfield seems like it's always very good. Every time, people are asking, how are you going to replace Anthony Dimma? And you just got to unlock the door and open it for new people. What makes running in this offense so easy?
our line, like Coach Ward, he does a great job with them all year round. He's working with them in the summer, up in the weight room during the winter, and all that because we put in like all this stuff, and they just get it so easy because he teaches it so well.
We know this Garfield football team is just traditionally, knows how to win. They have a winning record as a program. What's it mean to you just to be able to put on a uniform and know that program that is so rich in tradition trusts you to go out and lead it every night?
Oh, it's great. Everybody knows everybody here. Everybody's got each other's backs. It's just a great community to be in.
When we watch the kind of football you guys play, you imagine the locker room is real kind of blue collar, tough nose, take your lunch pail to work. What's the identity of this team, and how would you describe the locker room?
Locker room, like everybody loves everybody. Like this is the closest team I've ever been on, like in my high school career. Like coaches love us. We love the coaches. It's just family.
Who is the one teammate that you know that you can lean on if you need anything or if you got something that you need help with?
I'd go definitely Keegan Sell or Deacon Summer. Carter Bates too. They just always have my back. Like I make a bad pass in practice or somebody drops it. Like we always got each other's backs for it.
And as I said before, being a quarterback means you obviously have to be a leader. How has that kind of been stepping into a leadership role and trying to flex your leadership muscles a little bit and learn how to lead a group of men on a football field?
Yeah, well, during the winter, like I knew I was gonna have to step up because we lost like Brody and Dema and all them. So I knew I was gonna have to step up. And it started in the winter in the weight room, like helping the younger kids out, like taking them under, like working out with them, telling them like what to do and all that. So it just progressively got like more and more like you're gonna be the captain of this team and the quarterback.
You said how Brody helped you as a freshman. So now that you're a leader, who are some of the underclassmen that you're trying to help and you're trying to take under your wing?
Jack Nykirk for sure. He was just in my shoes, but now I'm like Brody to him. So I'm just trying to help him out. Like we throw the ball a lot during practice, during warm ups and all that. Just telling him what to do, like what to look at, like if a corner and safety or outside linebacker and all that. Trying to help him out like Brody helped me.
This team hasn't missed a beat either. I mean, you lost a one game to Warren JFK on that walk-off kind of 2-point conversion. But other than that, everything has been smooth sailing. What's the season kind of been like for you guys to just take care of business every week? And what are some of the prospects for the last couple of weeks of the season and the goals that you guys have?
Yeah, we just got to stick to what we do. We always come in on Saturday. We always get a good lift, good run, and then we break down the film. And Coach Moser always says, like, Tuesday, Wednesday are working days, perfect Thursday, come in on Monday, have a great day, and then the rewards Friday.
And Coach Moser, I think he's one of the more respected coaches in the whole area, Northeast Ohio. What makes him so special to you, and what have you learned from him as a quarterback of this group?
Oh yeah, he's a great coach. He's a great guy. Knows how to like make you laugh. Like he's always up in the weight room with us, telling us what to do, like what's going on for practice, what to look for, putting in new formations, drawing on the board, and all that. He's just a great guy. Loved being around him.
We only get to see him on the sidelines. So what's something about Coach Moser that maybe people outside the team don't get to see that maybe they should know?
He's a funny guy. Like he's all business on Friday and all that, but he knows how to make some people laugh.
What kind of sense of humor does he have? Like, is he kind of a dry guy, or what is it? What kind of jokes does he kind of bring to the table?
Yeah, he's got good sayings. Like during practice, like somebody messes up and he'll just make him laugh. Like we'll get like upset about it. He'll just make us laugh by giving us one of his sayings he has.
When you guys are breaking down film, what are some of the things that like he really drives at you guys? Like this is something that we have to have perfect every day.
I'd say pad level without a doubt. Linemen, running backs, all that. Just our pad level, how you got to be low, be physical.
You've obviously had to grow as a football player this year too. So when you look at yourself and where you were last year compared to where you are now, what do you think are some of the biggest points of your game that you've grown?
I'd say the weight room. got big, I'd say. Like, just worked really hard over the winter and during our summer workouts. I'd say reading coverages too.
You work out a lot, so what's your favorite circuit? What's the one that you know
Uh,
when it's this day, I'm gonna be a golden?
Yeah, I'd say Mondays. We normally hit legs on Mondays, lower body, and I'd say legs are my biggest part.
What's the opposite end of the spectrum? Which one's the hardest workout for you?
I'd say during could we do these Saturday lifts during like the winter, and it's just we could just go at it. We go outside, we flip tires, we carry sandbags around the track. It's just hard knows what we do.
To do all that and to work as hard as you do, you got to have something that drives you. So what kind of gives you that internal fire and that drive to keep pushing and keep going and keep working?
Yeah, I'd say just for the teammates, for the community, because everybody comes supports us. We got to put on a show. It's just how I think about it. We got to make them come to another one, come to another one, come to another one.
Yeah, this Garfield community, we've had it for now a year, and we have quickly learned how tight knit and how good it is. What makes it special from your perspective? What makes Garfield unique from other schools?
No, I just say like the people in it. Like everybody likes each other. No one like dislikes, like doesn't talk to all that. Like we always have each other's backs. Like everybody's looking out for each other.
And that community shows up on Friday nights. What's your favorite part of a Friday night light atmosphere?
I'd say opening kickoff, like running out from the helmet, just taking a second before, looking around, seeing everybody there, seeing how happy everybody is, and just wanting to put on a show for them.
Yeah, do you take it in before every home game? Like this is a privilege almost that you get to kind of have this kind of pageantry and show go on every week?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, I do.
When you look into the stands, who's one person that you look for to try to see where they are?
Always looking for my dad. He watches me close. Like after the game, he'll tell me like tips to do, like what I did good, what I did bad, what I can do better, and all that. Helps me out a lot.
So he's the coach, Dad. So obviously, what's that dynamic like? And then how much has he helped you throughout your career?
Oh, he's helped me so much. Like during like baseball, football, all this. He's just another coach to me.
He had to be so excited when you got the nod to be the new starting quarterback. What were some of the things that he kind of told you and he kind of nudged you along when you got that role?
Oh yeah, he just be myself. He wanted me to go out, throw with the guys more often. Just help me out. Like wanted to help me like watch film. I gave my huddle and all that. He watched it, tells me what to look for and what like I'm looking for personally.
Now you guys can watch film anywhere. You know, it used to be only in film sessions with a projector. Now you got iPads and iPhones. You can watch on anything. So when's your favorite time to kind of watch film on your personal day?
I'd say during my study hall period. It's just free period. Do whatever you want. Like if you got homework, obviously do that. But film, that's when like you can really get into it because you got nothing else to worry about.
Are you someone that likes to watch your own film, or do you dive into the opponent's film a little bit more and try to see what they're doing?
Yeah, it's a little bit both. Like I normally watch our games Saturday, Sunday, and then during the week, that's when I'll go into whoever we play that week and see what they got.
When you're watching yourself, I know you have to be one of your biggest critics. So what kind of things do you look for?
Yeah, I just like we do a pass, we do a run, like see if I hit the right hole. If I'm blocking, see if I'm blocking the right guy and who like I'm supposed to block and all that. Seeing if the right guy threw to the right guy, see if the right guy's open and all that.
All right, so after a hard-fought game, especially a hard-fought win, what's your favorite post-game meal and thing to put in your body after a football game?
I'd say grilled cheese. It's a go-to.
Cheese. Okay,
Yeah.
That's an easy meal. Like that, is that a homemade grilled cheese? Is there someone that makes it best?
Oh yeah, my mom always makes it for me.
Since your mom, I'm gonna assume since she makes it for you, she's the cook of the family.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask, what's your favorite dish that she makes?
I'd say spaghetti
Mm.
or steak, one of those two. She's just amazing cook, amazing mom.
What kind of thing? You know, we talked about your dad. I want to give your mom a little bit of love now. What kind of things did she kind of bring to your life, and what kind of things did she help you with?
Yeah, she's always asking me if I need anything, like need a Pedialyte before the games on Thursday to get hydrated. Ask me if I need anything, need any food, anything of that. So she's just great.
Is it kind of nice to have the balance of, you know, coach, dad, but then mom that like taking care of your body and taking care of, you know, your diet?
Oh yeah.
When you look at some of the things that you want to do in your future and future goals that you have for yourself and some of the goals that you've set for yourself long term, what goals do you have?
Obviously, win a league title every year, football, baseball, all that. I want to go to college for baseball, just get a degree and all that.
We know you very well on the baseball field, and so what's it like kind of transitioning after football season to start focusing on baseball and still trying to give football and your strength in the football realm still some love?
Yeah, it's balance is really good though, because in the winter we lift Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday or Friday, it depends. And then for my baseball, I have practice Tuesday, so it's just a free day. And Saturday, I practice baseball Saturday too, so it just balances really well, and it just helps a lot for both.
We've talked about the support you guys get as a football and baseball team. What's your favorite sport to go and watch and be a part of the student section for?
I'd say basketball for sure, or volleyball. Volleyball because the volleyball team's really good. They got some good players. They can win. They know what to do. They got a good coach and all that. I'd say basketball, volleyball.
If you had to pick one Garfield athlete that you're not a teammate with, whether it be volleyball or basketball or any sport at Garfield that you had to get an autograph with before you left the school, whose autograph are you going after?
I don't know. I'd say Gabby Bernard. I think she's
I like that.
Player. Yeah.
When you look at some of the athletes that you've had a chance to go up against in football and baseball, who are some of the guys that you wish were on your team or that you look at and you say, I really like the way they play?
Oh yeah, I'd say Tyler Skaggs, baseball for sure. He's a great guy. I play with him during the summer. Just we build that friendship always. Him for sure.
What are some things that you like to do on your off time when you're not thinking about sports? I know sports take up a lot of your time.
I'd say fish during summer and all that. I fish a lot with my buddies. Got to eat a lot, just hang out.
What's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
Bass, I'd say. Yeah, bass for sure.
When you look at fishing and the things what kind of things do you like most about it?
It's just calming. You're outdoors. There's so many different things like creeks, ponds. You see like nice stuff. Just calming.
All right. I want to get to know you a little bit off the field. We're going to hit some rapid fire questions and then we'll get you out of here. So first thing I want to know is, what is your dream car? If you had the money, what kind of car would you buy?
I'd say Jeep Wrangler, like just decked out.
When you look at your future and your goals, what kind of job do you see yourself in?
I'd say something with business or sports management.
What did you want to be when you grew up? What kind of things did you kind of want to be when you were a kid?
I really want to be a basketball player when I was younger, and then that just changed from baseball to basketball or basketball to baseball.
We got to talk about that transition. When did it move from basketball to baseball, and what kind of thing made that happen?
I'd say my 12U travel. Jake he coaches at Wyndham. He's a great guy. He helped me a lot. We went to Cooperstown, like New York, and had a big tournament there, and it's just I loved the experience, and that's what changed it all for me.
Who's your favorite baseball player?
I'd say Dominic Keegan, played at Vanderbilt last year.
All right. Who's your favorite team to watch? What team do you get most passionate about?
Ohio State football.
Ohio State football. Okay. Sure. That's easy team to be a fan of. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
With the way they win. What kind of things do you like to kind of relax in your leisure time at home?
I just say like watching like sports videos, like lifting videos, all that.
Who's been the most inspirational person in your life?
I'd say my dad for sure. My parents, mom and dad and sisters, they're always there for me.
When you kind of look at the way that you school things, what's your favorite subject?
I'd say chemistry right now for sure. Chemistry.
Who's one teacher that has really had an impact in your life?
I'd say Mr. Durr. Like, I don't have his class, but we always talk every day. Mr. Walker, the same way. We always talk every day about football and all that.
If we were going to give you a time machine, would you want to go forward in time or back in time?
I'd say back.
How far back would you go?
When I was a kid, I'd say just relive those years where you just do whatever.
What do you think is like the most mischievous thing that you did as a kid?
I would always like mess with my sisters. I'd always hide their stuff, and they would always ask me. I'd be like, I don't know. Like, yeah.
What was your favorite video games growing up?
Madden, for
Madden?
sure.
Who was the go-to team in Madden?
Man, I was always a big Saints fan.
Okay.
I just like the uniforms, so I just always play with them.
I like that. Hey, when you look at some of the things that you like to eat as a guilty pleasure, I know you like to keep yourself healthy, you work out a lot, but there's got to be something that maybe is not on the healthy scale that you like to snack on.
Oh yeah, definitely like cake, Oreo cake, cookies and cream. I love that stuff.
All right, before we let you go, I know you had a big matchup with Crestview. I want to give just you a chance to preview that game and give the Garfield community a shout out to get out there and support you Friday night.
Oh yeah, it'd be a good game. Good two good teams going at it. It'd be really fun to watch. I know it's a far drive. Just love to see everybody there.
All right, Eric, thank you so much for the time, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Hey, you're welcome. Appreciate it.
Can't hear you, buddy.
Forgot to unmute myself. Rookie mistake. Eric Geddes, the new quarterback of Garfield, and that's a Garfield program that just keeps on, like a duck across water, just keeps on treading, and everything's just going smooth. You don't see the work that's going on underneath the surface.
I mean, you want it, go get us, right? Like,
right.
My guy is just continues to churn it out, and Garfield continues to churn out greatness week after week, year after year. They've been such a blessing to YSN to kind of hang out with them. And last year we had prime time there, and it couldn't have been nicer. Gary went last week, said they were giving them hamburgers and T-shirts and what like. We're just so fortunate, and we love Garfield. We love all our teams, but that Geddes kid, man, he's gonna be something. You had some stumpers for him, though.
I did. I think he wanted to make sure his answer was correct when he was shouting out his mom's grilled cheese sandwich post game. I think he wanted to make sure that he gave his mom a shout out.
I think it's a free shout out. You can give whoever you want a shout out, as long as it's not like paid advertising.
His mom's out there asking for advertisements on her grilled cheese.
I've seen weirder stuff happen, dude. If mom's slinging grilled cheese on the side, I've seen weirder stuff happen.
You gotta love it. And Eric Geddes, once again, a new leader to this team, but not a new leader to sports. We saw him on the baseball field. He's a great leader of that team. So I think naturally stepping into the quarterback role was just a natural progression for him, and he was ready for the moment. He's definitely proven that. He's among the statistical leaders, and he's definitely the vocal and emotional leader of that team. And they can lean on him as a junior. They have him for one more year as well next year. So Garfield, things are looking up. I know a lot of people off season asking, okay, no Brody Swagonski, no Anthony Dema, what's this offense going to look like? They've answered that question emphatically with so far a 6-1 record and sitting pretty in Division 5.
It's easy to say that you run a team concept, right? It's easy to sit there and say, okay, well, it doesn't matter the Jimmies and Joes on the field. It just matters that the program, this and that. And to me, that's all baloney, because if you don't have the people to win and to kind of utilize in those programs, the program's not going to be successful. But Garfield, I think another one of we talk about it all the time, foundational wise, from Pee-wees on up, I'm sure that they're running the same kind of style football that's going to make them, very good at the varsity level, and they continue to do so.
That's why I kind of chuckle when, like, if a good team struggles against a team or maybe loses and they go, oh man, that team just gave you the blueprint on how to beat them. Well, yeah, you have the blueprint, but you still have to have the architects that can go and execute the blueprint. It doesn't mean you do. You could sit there. I could sit there with a blueprint of a brand new desk, and I'd be like, how do I put this thing together? I'd be lost. But I have the blueprint. So not having the tools to execute and having the players, I guess, to continue that metaphor, having the players that are behind the program is the lifeblood of success. And Garfield's continued to churn out successful football players, successful football teams. And I think it all starts at the top with Coach Mosier. I gotta say that. I mean, he's one of the most respected coaches, not just in the area, but I think in all of Division V. He's been doing it for a long time. He knows how to build winning kids and winning character. And he's a big reason why that football program is so traditionally good.
It starts at the top always. How many times do we have to talk about it? I mean, you look at programs that are traditionally just great programs, and it comes from great coaches and great coaching staffs, and they have one certainly with Coach Mosier.
All right, after that comment, which is a great one, Garfield is a good team. Let's take our first break of the day, and when we get back, we have a lot more to get to on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
As fine as the eye can see, the finest hardwoods from the finest trees. Made for your home and within your means, Baird Brothers will help fulfill your dreams. Let life and light come shining through in quiet morns. And heavy traffic, too. Find your easy-to-afford fine hardwood floors and doors and more at BairdBrothers.com.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Locally owned and operated, Sheely's relaxed shopping experience means browsing and lounging is always encouraged.
Find Flex Deal and more at Sheely's Furniture and Appliance, because the best things in life happen at home.
How lucky are we to have not one, but two 18-hole Donald Ross Championship golf courses right here in our backyards. Mill Creek Golf Course was selected by Golf Week as one of America's 30 best municipal courses, continuing to challenge golfers of all levels and featuring golf instruction by PGA professionals, a state-of-the-art practice range, a PGA of America recognized pro shop, kids programs, and a relaxing grill room for a memorable golf experience. For more information or to schedule a tee time, visit millcreekmetroparks.org.
Fall is in the air. The kids are back to school, crowds are cheering for the home team, and Myers Family Insurance is prepped for another crazy Medicare season. Every year there's changes, some big, some small, so it's important to have a conversation to make sure your plan is going to meet your expectations for the coming year. Give our team a call today to schedule your annual review.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance or visit us on the web. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com.
Going from mindful to mindful sometimes requires a helping, healing hand. Insight Clinical Counseling and Wellness offers a continuum of mental health and wellness care. At Insight, we're changing the way you receive counseling and wellness services with experienced licensed clinicians and expertly trained wellness staff. With 4 locations in Mahoning and Columbiana County, along with telehealth services, Insight offers clients quick access to care when they need it. Transform your mental health and wellness at Insight Clinical Counseling and Wellness.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartley, DJ Oakley, and we venture into the second hour of the show, and it's still packed loaded with interviews. And we are going to talk Crestview volleyball real quick because we have two Crestview volleyball players to share interviews with you guys. Last night, Crestview lost their first set of the season in a 3-1 win over East Liverpool. And it was really their first really big non-conference test of the year. This schedule that Coach Auer has put together is real backloaded with a lot of strong teams at the end to try to get them as ready as possible for that tough Division III district. They still have Girard on their schedule. They still have Fitch on their schedule. Boardman and Salem will pop up later on in the season as well, as Crestview not only looks to win the MVAC again this year, but also really test themselves in the last 2 weeks of the season before they go into district play. So East Liverpool was just the first of many tests we're going to see this team go through. Abby M had her best day of the season with 29 kills. Grace Auer had the triple-double. And then on East Liverpool's side, Kaya White did a really good job, 11 kills for her. Kinsey Headley had 6 kills for the Potters. And Delaney Ice had 18 assists for East Liverpool as well. So East Liverpool put up a good fight. Almost all the sets were competitive except the last one where Crestview kind of put their foot down. But East Liverpool does hand Crestview their first loss of the season as far as sets go. And Crestview still wins the match 3-1. Coach Auer said after the game, it might be really good for them to lose a set every now and then. And I think she liked that she saw her team get tested and she saw her team get punched a little bit and bounce back from it. So I know, DJ, you don't like the whole, you have to lose to be successful kind of attitude, but maybe losing a set, not even losing, just losing a set, not losing the match. Maybe that's a little bit easier to swallow.
I mean, that's all coach speak. And I appreciate what coaches do, but when you're looking at, well, we needed to have like there. Can we just rewind the tape real quick and just let people know Crestview is very good. They are very good. Most likely will be at the top of our power rankings this week. But I will tell you this, they have been challenged along the way. It's just they're that good. It's not a situation where they haven't been challenged. They are that good. And everybody they come across will tell you they're that good. Dan McKinstry, the all-time winningest volleyball coach in the state of Ohio, he will say Crestview is a good team. He is respected by so many coaches from all over the place. Alicia Auer is one of them. And that's why I loved when Siggy texted us all in the, kind of in the group chat and said he loves seeing these two teams seeking each other out and playing that game. Whether you lose a set, you lose the match, it doesn't matter. Nobody is looking. Now, conference championships are great. And, moral victories are great. Alicia Auer with this squad is not seeking just moral victories. She's seeking what we anticipate could be a state championship run. And I think East Liverpool's in that same boat. And, if anybody's going to sit there, and not to take anything away from Alicia, if anything, anybody's going to sit there and say, this is a loss that could project and launch a program, it could be Dan McKinstry with the way that they hung in there with Crestview. You go back and you look at this tape, they beat them. They beat them, and they expended all their energy, I think. And Crestview figured a lot of things out. Alicia's one of the best and has one of the best staffs that can change on the drop of a dime. And they've got some stellar players as well. Let's not forget about that. But at the end of the day, Ant, both teams were challenged. Both teams are very, very good. And Siggy, you could feel the energy in the gym last night too. We heard that from East Liverpool as well.
Yeah, Crestview, they bring a good crowd, but East Liverpool does too. So the shots that I saw of the game, the stands were completely full. They even had some people trickle up into that upper rafters that they have in Crestview, the mezzanine. So they had some standing room only up there in Crestview for the big matchup against East Liverpool last night. East Liverpool now 15-2 on the season. Crestview still 16-0. Both teams kind of get back to their conference schedule in the next slate. Crestview will play tonight at Garfield for first place because Garfield has one loss in the MVAC, and it's to Crestview. So really, the team that wins that game will take first place of the MVAC.
How if Garfield wins?
Garfield wins it, they'll have the share.
Yeah, I was going to say
Crestview wins it, they'll have the outright. So it's not the championship on the line, but it's Crestview obviously wants the outright championship.
You tried
no
to Don King us right there, man. You tried to Don King us, promote something that wasn't really happening.
It wasn't.
The Rumble in the Jungle. It's legit. Like, if Crestview wins, they're the outright.
Right.
And if Crestview loses, they share.
They share.
With Garfield.
So Garfield's looking to do that, and Crestview's looking to not let that happen. So it'll be a fun one tonight. I believe Ty Bartel will be down there in Garrettsville for the call, but we have to hear from a couple of Crestview volleyball players because we have interviews with Grace Auer and Abby Imch to play for you. We can't wait for you to hear these conversations of two great volleyball players in the area, and let's hear what they had to say about the season that they are having. Hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Crestview volleyball player profile. I am joined by Grace Auer. Grace, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, so we talk about this volleyball season, and man, this Crestview team, probably one of the most prolific and most well-known volleyball teams of the area, but you did lose some pieces from last year. So my first question takes you back to the summer workouts and getting this team prepared for, what the expectations of Crestview volleyball are. How did you guys, as returning starters, kind of welcome in the new players and get them all focused and everybody on the same page?
We were very welcoming. We just included everybody, and we as returners just stepped in and knew that we had a big role to fill, and we just made sure that everybody knew our goals for this season, and just everyone works really hard, and we're just having a really good year.
Although it seems like you guys have never missed a beat and you really haven't changed from last year. I know every team is a little bit different. So what makes this year's team and this year's group a little bit unique from the years past?
This year, we're just very close together, and we work as a family, and we do a lot of team bonding and everything. And we just always make sure to put each other first, and we're just always there for each other. And we just really are a family.
What do you think is the driving force behind that? What makes it so easy to kind of bond together and be so close knit?
We just are all really happy people. Not that everyone in the past wasn't, but we just all really get along, and we really do work as a team, and we're just really close. And every day we're always giggling and having fun and just making jokes and just joking around with each other.
You talked about team bonding that you guys do. What have been some of your favorite team bonding events or exercises that you guys have done?
We went to one of our fans' lakes, and we just had a really fun afternoon after practice, and we just went there and swim and ate and just played cornhole and basketball, and it was a blast. And then another activity is that we went to one of our teammates' houses and just hung around and played games and went night swimming in their lake, which was really fun.
When you think about some of the things that make volleyball so special to you and the love for this sport so strong, what are some of the things that you love most about the sport of volleyball?
I just love how much of a team sport it is. I just love the aspect of it's about the team, and it's a team effort all the time, and it's not just about one person, and we all work as a team.
Such a team-minded sport, but we do have to talk about you a little bit and your accolades that you've made this season. You're kind of the serving queen now of Crestview. You've accomplished basically every service ace goal that you could imagine: career aces, season aces, match aces. What's been working so well with your serve this year?
I've just been focusing on going more aggressive this year instead of worrying about making an error or something, and I just try and put up the best serve that I can every time that I go back to the service line and not worry about serving it out or in the net.
All right, so a lot of people have been questioning, you guys haven't lost a set yet. So the whole question around the Crestview volleyball area from the outside is, what are they going to do when things get tough? How are they going to test themselves? So I guess the question is, in practices and setting, game goals for the team, how do you guys test yourselves? What kind of standard do you guys set for yourselves in every game? And how do you guys kind of keep yourselves sharp despite not losing sets?
Every game before, we come into a little huddle, and we just go out there and say that we're going to play our best, and we're not going to fall to the other team's level. We're just going to keep playing Crestview volleyball.
How competitive do practices get? Because I imagine with this team, you got to keep those competitive juices flowing, and you got to find the edge. So how competitive can practices get with you guys?
Practices can get very competitive. For an example, like me and Abby we always try and block each other, and every time we block each other, we just start screaming and going nuts. Like just little things like that, just like push us to get better. Like I want to block Abby all the time, or like she wants to block me, and we just always have this competitive attitude to make each other better, and like the whole team.
So you get to kind of put your hands in every part of the stat sheet because you kind of do a little bit of everything for this team. You dig, you're a setter in a 6-2 offense, and then when you're not setting, you get to hit. What's it like to just kind of flip mindsets wherever you are on the court, whether you're a setter, you have to worry about setting. When you're a hitter, you have to worry about hitting. And then obviously when you're just in the defense, you have to worry about digging too. What's it like managing all that during a match?
I just put my mind to whatever I'm at. So if I'm in defense, I always want to get the ball up, and I don't want to let my team down. When I'm setting, I want to give my hitters the best ball that I possibly can. And when I'm hitting, I want to put every ball away. It just varies wherever I am, but I just always want to do my best for the team and not let anyone down.
You get to feel everything. So what's the best feeling in volleyball? Is it a good set? Is it a good kill? Is it a good dig? An ace? What do you think is your favorite feeling in a volleyball match?
Honestly, I love it all. I love getting that amazing up or giving my hitters the best that I can. And I just love every aspect of the game. It's just so much fun.
Let's talk about setting with a couple of new hitters this year, welcoming in, a couple of new hitters, and then getting to know the new ones a little bit more, and getting to know even the returning ones that are underclassmen a little bit more. How much responsibility have you taken into yourself to just know every hitter as well as you can, and to build that bond with them so you can set them where they like to set it?
Just all the time, I'm telling them like I'm gonna set you, like just be ready, so like they can get the confidence in themselves that they know that they can put the ball away, and I can have the confidence in them so that I know that they're gonna put the ball away. And it's a building experience, but I have a lot of confidence in all my hitters that they're gonna put the ball away.
It's a family connection, so we have to talk about your family, and I'll start with your mom, the head coach. You've been under her for a couple of years now. What's it like to have that dynamic and to share this with her, and to call her coach, but also be able to call her mom when you guys are off the floor?
I love it. It's such an honor just being her daughter and just also having her as my coach. She's such an amazing coach, and I wouldn't be anywhere I am without her.
We know that she pushes you, if not as hard, if not harder than the other girls on the floor. Do you guys ever get like bump heads? Like, what do you bump heads the most about, you two?
Honestly, we don't bump heads, honestly, like at all. Like, I know she has high expectations for me, and if she gives me something I need to work on or anything like that, I know I have to put 100% into it and not bump heads with her, honestly.
What's one thing in practice or during a game that not just you, but the team would like? What's one way that you guys know that she'll get angry if we do this? Like, what's the biggest pet peeve do you think she has as a coach?
If we're just not focused and not giving it our all, which usually we are focused and giving it our all, but at times if we just like freeze up, we know that she's gonna be a little not disappointed or mad, but she's just gonna be like, all right, we just gotta recuperate and get back into our flow.
What's the biggest form of advice that she's given you guys as a team throughout the season, throughout your career, really?
She said it's also on the back of our shirts, every point matters, and that we have to give it our all with every point. That's probably the biggest amount of advice she's given us.
All right, now we have to talk about your sister Lainey, who is now on the team with you this year. What's that been like to be able to kind of guide her and take her under your wings, doing basically the same thing you're doing, setting when she's not hitting when she's not setting, getting your hands in pretty much every one of the stat categories?
Yeah, I love playing with her. She's so amazing, and she always is working so hard just to give it her all to this team, and it's so much fun playing with her, and it's so much fun being her sister too throughout all this.
How are you two the same, and how do you two differ in your personalities?
She's more chill. I'm definitely more crazy, and she's even told me sometimes just to like chill out and everything, but we're pretty alike though too. Like we both love playing volleyball, and we both are always very happy, and we're such a team player.
We are so close to the tournament draw, and I know last year the tournament, you guys got so close to taking down Independence. It was right there. How hungry is this team to kind of get started in sectionals and get started with the tournament and kind of, get those kind of feelings back inside the gym?
We are so excited. Like ever since day one of this year, we are making it past regional semifinals, and we're going to make it farther than that this year. And we're just really hungry to get back to that spot and get farther in tournaments.
All right. So what do you think is the biggest thing you guys will have to do in the last couple of weeks of the season to get yourselves in the biggest spot possible before you get to tournaments?
We just have to have a good mental toughness and knowing that every game we go into, our target on our back is getting bigger, and that we just have to keep playing our best and work as a team just to get through these next couple of weeks, which we have some pretty tough games that we're going to have to go against. So
you really do. The last 4 teams in your schedule are Fitch, Girard, Boardman, Salem. I mean,
yeah,
that's got, as a competitor, that's going to excite you to have such a back-heavy schedule and to be able to finish the job with conference play, call yourselves, hopefully conference champions again. But then after that, you get nothing but almost zero pressure competition, because if you win, it's great. But those games are really going to prepare you for tournaments. So how excited is the team for those opportunities?
We are so excited. These next teams that we're going to be playing are going to be really good, and they're going to be such a challenge, but we are just so excited to get to play them, and we're super excited. It's just going to be such fun games.
I know you get to play with a lot of volleyball players, not just at Crestview, but in the travel season as well in JO. Who's your favorite your best friend that doesn't wear the Crestview jersey?
Honestly, I'd have to say it's probably Kyle White or Michaelin Woods are probably 2 of my closer non-Crestview volleyball players.
Well, you get the chance to play Kyle White.
Yeah, tomorrow. We're very excited.
Tomorrow, actually. What's that going to feel like to be able to go and you go up against other friends as well. What's it like to go up against people that you play with and to be able to kind of test yourselves against girls that you call friends?
It's such an honor. And it's so much fun. It just gives you more fire to want to win and just play really good. And it's just such a fun experience just to play against people that you get to play with year round. So it's just such a fun and cool experience.
Any playful banter when those games come up? You guys having any fun trash talking?
Yeah, actually, this summer we got to scrimmage East Liverpool, and Kai and I kept blocking each other, and we just would yell across the net haha, I just blocked you, just as fun, and it's so much fun playing her.
All right, we've talked about your favorite thing about being a volleyball player, but what about this school system? What's your favorite part about being able to represent Crestview and to wear the Rebels across your chest and to be able to wear those colors every night?
It's an honor. I love Crestview volleyball, and it's just such an amazing experience just being a part of this team, and for eras and years, Crestview volleyball has just been a strong program, and just to represent them has been such an amazing experience.
From the outsider, it seems like that you kind of are accomplishing every goal that you set for yourself, but I'm sure you always are making the next goal. So what are some personal goals that you have for yourself before the season ends that you kind of want to accomplish?
Some of my personal goals are just to keep pushing the team as much as I can and just keep pushing myself as much as I can to reach my fullest potential and the team's fullest potential and go pretty far in tournaments too.
If we were to ask one of your teammates what kind of impact Grace Hour left on them, what would you hope their answer would be?
My hope is just I love pushing people as hard as they can and just getting the fullest potential out of them. And I love trying to be as much of a team player as I can. So I would hope that to leave an impression of pushing them to their fullest potential and just having a happy, fun experience playing with me.
All right, Grace, thank you so much for joining us. But before we let you go, I almost forgot, but before we let you go, I got to let you shout out your support system and shout out the people that are always there for you throughout your career.
Just thank you to all the people, coaches, family, friends, everyone who has been supporting me throughout my volleyball and just every career. Just thank you for everything and can't wait to see where I go.
All right, Grace, once again, thank you so much for the time. Good luck the rest of the way, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right, thank you so much.
Anthony Harwig here with a Crestview volleyball player profile. I am joined by Abby Imch. Abby, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, Abby, last year you hit this volleyball scene and you hit the ground running. Everyone knows your name now. But what are the biggest differences between your sophomore season and your freshman season in your perspective, do you think?
Well, it's a really big difference because I have a full year of experience, and I think that's really helped me in preparing for this year. And it's really helped me because I know what the varsity court is like, and I've really gotten used to it. And I've gotten to work with like Grace and all the coaches, and I've gotten really like relaxed and used to them all, and it's really helped me.
How do you think you've been able to, well, you were able, I should say, to succeed so much as a freshman without all that, experience, and just kind of go out there and be yourself and shine bright as a freshman last year?
Yeah, that's really been nice to have that. And I think knowing what to expect because of my siblings, they've really helped me. And just going and watching all of their games and going to some of their practices, that's just really prepared me for what it was like.
You brought up your siblings, so I'm going to ask you to talk about that a little bit more. What was it like growing up with them, and what kind of lessons did you take from this? Not just watching them play, but asking them as many questions as possible, and like you said, getting ready for that varsity level as soon as you step onto it.
Yeah, they really helped me. I always ask them what I was doing wrong, what I've been doing good, and they've just always been there to answer those questions. And in quarantine, actually, they helped me with my blocking footwork. They took me outside and they just told me what to do, and they were just really helpful in that. And I think that's helped a lot, and that's just made me an overall better player. And I just wanted to thank them a lot because they are helpful into where I am today.
Have you ever got to actually go across the net from them and try to block each other with a sister showdown?
Yeah, we do. Like outside volleyball, we are very competitive in that. And Ryan, my brother, we're also very competitive. And we have a game called Cross Net where it's 4 little squares, and we are just always very competitive as a family.
This is your chance to flex a little bit. Who's the best player on the team in the family, I should say?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think we all have our moments where we're pretty good.
It's a very PC answer. Won't get you in trouble anywhere. You're good. What about you said they both gave you so much advice. Did they help in different ways? Did they both have kind of different forms of helping and different advices to give you?
Yeah, they had different, but also pretty similar. They were just always there for me. I think they both were very encouraging and just helpful in every aspect as just like a person and as a volleyball player. And they were just really always there for me.
I'm sure another big aspect was the senior class last year. And, Crest, you had a really good senior class last year. How much did they kind of help you feel welcome and feel comfortable on this team and be able to kind of step right into the sophomore year without them, but not be too, scared that it was going to change?
Yeah, I felt very welcome last year. It just felt normal, and they felt like a family. On the first day of tryouts, I just felt like I fit in there well, and they just were very helpful and everything. And it was just really, really fun to play with them.
Who was the one senior that you think kind of helped you the most or took you under their wing the most last year?
That's a tough one. They all did, but I really think Shelby did because we were both middles, and she just really helped me, and she helped me grow into a better person, not just a volleyball player, but also a person. And it was just a really cool experience to get to play with all of them. So.
All right, I heard you had a pretty eventful weekend. Last weekend, I think, right? Last weekend.
Yeah.
You get to go to Denver and get to compete with some pretty impressive volleyball players. What was that kind of like? What was that experience like for you? I want you to just kind of ooze about it because I want to know how it all went.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience to have the chance to play with some really incredible girls, and it was just an insane opportunity because I got to be coached by, I don't know if you know Lauren Stivrins, but she was a middle for Nebraska. But she got to help coach me and a bunch of other girls. And it was just kind of a handful of girls from all over the nation. And we all got to come together and play together and train together. And we had a little meeting about like what your body should be like, what you should eat before everything, and where your heart should be at. And it was a really amazing experience to get to meet all of the new girls and just have the opportunity to play with them.
I was also told beforehand that you got to meet Jordan Larson, right? Is that someone that you got to meet
No,
down
I
there?
didn't.
Oh
No.
no, I was lied to. But when you look at all those volleyball players and the people you got coached with, and I know you watch volleyball at the high level, who are some players that you watch on the high level of volleyball that you kind of embrace or try to reflect?
Lauren Stivrins, I already mentioned her, but when she played, she was a really big role model, and I just always loved watching her. And Nicklin Hames, I thought that they had the best connection. And Grace and I, we always said that we wanted to be like them because they just had a really amazing connection.
That being said, I'm guessing that you root for Nebraska quite a bit when you're
Yeah,
watching volleyball.
I have a Nebraska shirt.
Have you ever been to a Nebraska volleyball game live?
Yeah, we went to the NCAA Final Four, and we like sat nice and high, but it was really cool to see them live.
I'm jealous, because that would be awesome. What when you watch volleyball at that level and then you watch yourself, I mean, I know we're a long way away talking about college and things that goals that you have, but like, could you see yourself playing in that kind of atmosphere?
Yeah, I think it would be really, really cool to play at that atmosphere, and I really hope one day I can, because I think that would just be an incredible experience to get to play at that level with those high-level girls. So, yeah, I think so.
Not to knock the atmosphere you guys get at Crestview, you guys get a ton of support from this community. I know you guys feel it every year. From your perspective, what does it mean to you guys? And how cool is it to go into Crestview every day and you look and you have one of the more packed gyms of the area?
Yeah, it means a lot to have this kind of support system from our community. I think that everybody really likes to watch us. I think because we get along so well as a team, that it's really cool to watch us play together because we just play along so well. And I just wanted to thank everybody so much for coming to all of our games because it helps a lot to have that kind of support system, and it's just really awesome.
All right, second season with Coach Auer under the Crestview volleyball realm. And what do you think is your favorite thing about being coached by her, and what has she taught you the most about volleyball?
Yeah, I love being coached by her. I think that she is an incredible coach. She knows so much about the sport and just about life that I can ask her anything that I need to work on. And I think it's just really cool that I get to have this relationship with her because we get along very well and she just teaches me a lot. And it's just really nice also because she's one of my coaches for club. And so I can learn a lot from her year round. So it's just a really nice opportunity to have her.
All right, so you step into this volleyball program, and you know as well as everyone how successful it had been over the years. It's a very successful volleyball program. Was that ever daunting to kind of step into a program that you knew how successful it was? And, no one wants to be that person that ends that success. Was that kind of a little bit of pressure put on your shoulders last year to keep up the volleyball tradition at Crestview?
Yeah, it was a little bit, but it also pushed me into being who I am today. And it just made me really excited to be on this team because I know that in the past few years we've been very good. And so it just makes me want to push myself harder and be the better of who I am today. So, yeah.
I guess the question every other program has is, what are you guys putting in the water down there at Crestview? But to make that question real, what do you think it is about this program that is that difference maker that other teams really are struggling to find that make you guys such a tight-knit group and such a solid volleyball team?
Yeah, I think that our team aspect is it's amazing. We all just get along so well and we're bonded so well together. Just whenever we step on the court, we just go into a little huddle and we talk about what we're going to do in the game, and we're just really excited to play with each other because we're just like family and sisters, and I think that that's really cool to have that
and I can always talk to them if I need to, and they're just really amazing.
All right, the pregame huddles are your team pregame routine. Do you have any personal pregame routines that you have to stick to? Are you superstitious at all?
I like to listen to calm music. That's different than most people, but I just like to calm down and just breathe, really. I have a saying, smell the roses, blow out the candles. And I just really like to do that before a game and just breathe and take a second and think of what I'm going to do during the game, and it just really helps me.
So you probably turn to Mr. B and say, "Let that hype music off. We need calmness here." That'll be beneficial because some teams are getting into the habit of playing calm music during warm-ups. It put you right into the groove.
Yep.
The other aspect of your game that has grown so much, we see you with your hands in every kind of stat you'll call them. You're getting your digs. You're playing defense in the back row when you're back there. How much pride do you take in your ability to play back row when you have to and to be able to step up for your team in that way?
Yeah, I love playing all around. I think that it's a really great opportunity to get to know the sport more, and I just love doing anything that will help out my team. I think that everybody should know really how to play every position because you never know when you might have to go in, and I think that's just a really good thing to know. And yeah, I think it's just really cool.
All right, every position. Are we going to see Abby M set sometime soon?
Yeah, I hope so. That would be amazing.
Maybe put on that libero jersey.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm a libero.
If you could play one position that you don't, what's like that one position that you say, like, give me a chance, coach?
Probably a setter. I think that would be so fun. Just run around the court, setting up my hitters. That would just be amazing.
A lot of teams would love to have a 6-foot+ setter.
Yeah.
Coach Ira might have to think about that. When you're thinking about other sports, because you obviously love volleyball so much, if there were any other sports that you could throw your hat into, or sports that have piqued your interest a little bit, what sports do you think come to mind?
I really like soccer. I played when I was younger, and I just always loved it because that was a team sport also, and I just loved playing with my teammates, and it was just really fun because you got to go outside, and volleyball is an indoor sport, so it's harder, and it was just really nice to be outside and play with your teammates.
Whose parent gives the best post-game snack bag?
Probably Meredith Hart's. She always brings like apples, pears, maybe some candy into the locker room, and we just really enjoy that before and after the game.
All right, so what's the one thing that if this is in the snack bag, it's a grade A for you? So what's like the one snack that every snack bag in your perspective has to have?
An apple. I love apples. Those are just so good. Or carrots. I also love carrots.
All right, we know there's a whole world of apples out there. So what's your favorite kind of apple?
That's hard. All of them.
All of them.
That's a tough question. Maybe
it's
hickory.
Putting you on the spot.
Is that an apple?
Putting you on the spot. Hard-hitting questions. I always go with the honey. I always go with the Honeycrisp.
Honeycrisp, yes.
There you go.
I agree.
I'll give you I'll give you the springboard. What about some guilty pleasure foods that you have? Apples are healthy. Let's have some fun. What are some guilty pleasure foods that you have that maybe aren't as healthy?
Fruit snacks. Those aren't completely healthy, but they are just so good, and I always love eating them.
What's the best flavor, or I guess they come in the shape. So what's the best fruit in the fruit snack bag?
Probably like the blue one, like the blue raspberry one. I really like those.
All right. Before we let you go, I'm going to ask, who are your role models in life, and who are some people that you really lean to when you need advice and you need kind of support?
Yeah, my whole family is and my friends, my family is they are huge role models. All of my siblings and both of my parents, I know that I can always lean on them if I have an issue in volleyball, in school, in life, and they're just always there for me, and I know that. And all of my friends, my teammates, I know that everybody's always going to be there for me, and that just really helps me.
All right, Abby, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the season, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much.
Did it again. Didn't unmute myself. That's one of the rookie mistake. Ant. Come on. But Abby, MJ, and Grace Hour, both key contributors to that Crestview success that they have on the volleyball court, and we thank them so much for the time they were able to give to us, and hear a little bit about kind of what makes them tick, and get to know them a little bit off the floor, since we know them so well on the floor, covering them for the last couple of years with Crestview. We are going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get ready for Brianna Holt, who is a senior leader of the Springfield girls soccer team that is trying to win their fourth straight MVAC championship this year. And we'll talk to her about all the success that she's had over the 4 years at Springfield and what she's had to look forward to in the soccer program. So we'll be right back on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local, independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. It is a Tuesday episode. Anthony Hartwig joined by DJ Oakley. We are getting ready for Brianna Holt, the one of the senior leaders of a very impressive Springfield girls soccer team that is coming off, unfortunately for them, coming off the loss to Crestview over the weekend in a inter-MVAC tier game. 2-1, the Rebels were able to beat them, but Springfield still having a very impressive season and a lot of goals in front of them as they get ready for a district tournament. And Springfield has been one of the most successful girls soccer programs of the last several years. We saw Justin Kosick get his 100th career win a little bit earlier in the season. That's just one of the many things that we'll ask Brianna Holt about when she comes on in just a bit. But since she'll be on at 1:40 and we'll probably have to wrap up after she goes, I want to take time now to kind of just go over what we'll have on the network tonight. ysnlive.com/live is where you can find these games. We will have 6 volleyball games on tonight. Campbell at Liberty with Alec Caberna at 7. Crestview at Garfield with Ty Bartell at 7. Lakeview at Jefferson. That's a big game. If Jefferson wins, they will claim a 3-way tie in the NE8 with Lakeview, Jefferson, and Girard. If Lakeview wins, they will be in the driver's seat of the NE8 with that would be the second loss for Jefferson and Girard, both with 2. United at Southern will be on the call with Chris Sigler, 7 o'clock there. I will be in Howland for Ursuline coming to town. That should be a really good volleyball match between 2 double-digit win teams. And then Wellsville will travel to Columbiana as they continue their run to try to win the EOAC. 7 o'clock is the first serve there, and it'll be Joe Cebio on the call. We have a couple of soccer matches on the network tonight, too, in boys soccer. Austintown Fitch at Canfield, Mooney at Boardman, and Columbiana at Ursuline. So check out those as we pop in Brianna Holt from Springfield. And Brianna, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you for having me.
We said it right before you came on. It is your senior year, and you have had a successful career in the soccer program. What are some of the things that when you reflect on during the senior year as it gets closer and closer to being done that are your favorite things about being a part of this Tigers program and some of your favorite memories that you've been able to build with these girls on your team?
Like my freshman year winning districts, making all the new friends. I have like all the upcoming freshmen that have came by throughout the years.
So from a perspective of kind of memories, what's your greatest memory so far? And not just this season, but in your entirety with your teammates?
Winning districts my freshman year. That was one of the best memories I have ever had.
And this has been a program that even after that continues to succeed. You're coming off 3 straight conference championships, and you've also had a couple of more successful runs in the tournament. When you look at this program and you look at the things that have been able to come about it, what makes it so easy to succeed, and what are some of the things that you think Springfield girls soccer does a little bit differently that helps them have that competitive edge?
I think that the way we talk is what really helps us and how close we are. Like we have team bondings, like a lot, which makes us come closer and be able to get to know each other. And we know how each other play on the field.
I think one of the most impressive things about you and your teammates are it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about you outside of your own locker room, outside your own bus, outside of your own program. What does it take to get to that point? And what kind of bonding and communication, like you alluded to, does it take to get to that point where you don't care what anybody says? It only matters what you think and what you do.
It's just how you go about it and how you will learn about it throughout the years of how it goes. So you will be able to know your place.
You know, you definitely know your place. You are a statistical leader of this team. You're also an emotional leader of this team. How would you describe your leadership qualities, and what kind of things do you try to do to lead this team to their best possible potential?
I try to talk a lot. Like if someone's feeling down, you want to help them because during a game, if they're down, they're not going to play their best. You want to be able to lift them back up so they play their best they can. Because if they're down, it's just not going to help anybody. And just be talkative and help everybody.
All right. If you were going to be led by Brianna Holt, what would be the favorite thing that Brianna has to give as a leader?
Just helping people be confident in themselves.
Or is there an example? Like, can you give an example of a player that you've helped along be confident and maybe they've, returned serve, so to speak, to you?
Like, whenever they, with everybody, actually, say, the other team scores and everybody's just, down and stuff, you just got to tell them to keep on going and that it don't matter. You're down by 1. I mean, you could still get another one in. I mean,
I love that. It don't matter. Love that attitude. That had to come from somewhere. Who are some of the people that taught you to have that mindset on the soccer field and helped you grow your own confidence throughout your career?
Our coach Kosek has taught us that, and our new assistant coach Becky M. She has really helped with that.
Who's been one person or one inspiration that you've had that you've kind of led yourself by? I mean, on the field, off the field, whoever.
Probably my parents. They've taught me a lot about what to do and what not to do, what to say.
You brought up Coach Kosek earlier, and obviously you guys were able to help him get his 100th career win earlier this season, and it was a nuts celebration. We saw you drench him with the water and the Gatorade. What was that like, giving that to him and watching him be able to celebrate that and be able to check that goal off of his list for him as a team?
I'm so happy I was able to be a part of it. It was so much fun being able to have him have the 100th win. It was just very nice.
So from a standpoint of goals that you haven't maybe reached yet personally or from a team perspective, what lies ahead on that list that we can kind of help you check off this year?
A really big goal that I want for the team and for me is to make it to districts again for my senior year. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I thought you had more to talk. I was gonna let you go if you had more to go. But what I was gonna say is, as we go into Springfield and we go into the gym or we go into the field for Springfield, we realize very quickly that these athletic programs are just built a little bit different. They have their own kind of home built mindset. How proud are you that you get to represent Springfield and you get to wear those colors and wear the Tigers across your chest?
It's just being a Tiger is way different than being any other kind of school. Like, we just do things way differently than everybody else does. Like, when we play a home game, we talk about this is our field. We will own this field. It's ours.
I like that. The different expectations that you have for yourself as opposed to other people. And, every team, every locker room has their own expectations. And, everybody's going to say, well, our expectations, our sights are a little bit higher. What makes this team different, though? I mean, you've played on other teams, I'm sure, in club or something along those lines. What makes this team different? Is it the girls, the players, the coaches? Is it a sum of all three?
It's everything, but it's mostly about the relationships you make with everybody. Because when you're on club, you won't be as close as the people there because you will see them like once or twice a week. But for like the high school team, you'll see them every day. So you're going to have to get to know them and be close with them.
You talked about bonding on this team and how close you guys are. So I'm interested in, as you look at your 4 years with the program, who is someone that you've gotten to know the most through freshman to senior year, you think, and have built the strongest bond with as a teammate?
I think I was really close to Grace Venturella. She graduated last year. Me and her would always talk all the time and always be messing around and stuff. But this year, I think I've gotten closer with a lot more people than I have throughout the whole entire years of playing. Like Ashley Bellstrom, Ella Perry, Macy Isaacson, and so much more.
Give us some examples of some team bonding activities that you guys do to help you guys build, chemistry with it as a team.
We go to Dublin, Columbus, and we stay in a hotel and play some fun games and do tournaments while we're there. And we went to Dave & Buster's while we were there and went out to eat. And we have coming up a pumpkin carving where we gather around, carve pumpkins, and eat. It's just hopefully more, but it's really nice to have those.
All right. I've got 2 little kids that will be carving pumpkins, and I'm under I'm not a Halloween guy, but I'm under the assumption that there's a right way and a wrong way to carve a pumpkin. It's jack-o'-lanterns or you're wrong. So which side are you on, Brianna?
What do you mean by jack-o'-lantern?
So it's like the face. I don't care what the face is. It's the face or that's it. Like you're done. You're out. You're like disqualified. Like if you're putting like your logo, I did YSN one year and they disqualified me because it wasn't a jack-o'-lantern. So what are you gonna make your pumpkin this year?
Might carve my last name into it. I don't know. It don't have to be a face. I mean, as long as it's cool looking.
What is that? The monogram? What you can just do like a BH in it?
Make it a fancy BH,
Yeah.
We all know Anthony would put GT in it for Georgia Tech, but that would be the first pumpkin that got smashed. I promise you, 100%.
Whatever. Everybody's a critic. What's your favorite thing about this sport of soccer? And obviously, you've poured so much into it. What makes you keep coming back to it?
Just the bonding. Like, if I haven't played soccer, I really don't think I would have the friendships I did today. Like, it's just the bonding. Like, winning it's really nice and all, but it's about meeting the new friends.
All right, from your standpoint, what's your favorite part about Halloween? I mean, it sounds like you're a Halloween girl. I mean, it is like I've said it's a female holiday now. Like, I despise it. I do not like it. I never have. But now it's like pumpkin spice. You got all the pumpkin flavors are out, and Hocus Pocus has turned into some staple of Halloween. Are you a Hocus Pocus person?
I have never seen Hocus Pocus.
Oh, there you
Yes!
go. Solid no.
What's your best Halloween movie?
Oh, Michael Myers.
Oh, that's scary. You like scary movies? Sorry, kiddo. We can't be friends. I don't play that game. I don't play those games.
Turn all the lights off, dark
Nope.
at night, thunderstorm, put in Halloween.
Nope. I'll be sitting there with a lightsaber.
Oh, man.
Anything else, Anthony?
Oh, while we're on Halloween, most important thing in my repertoire, what's your favorite Halloween candy? When you're going into a Halloween bag, what's the candy bar you reach for?
Kit Kats.
There you go.
Nailed it. What is the one you stay away from?
What are they called? The jelly thingies. The dots.
Yeah.
Dots.
I agree.
I don't know if I had
They
dots.
get stuck. They're too sticky. They get stuck in your teeth. It's hard to chew.
Yeah.
They're not quite gummy enough. I agree. Not
Have
a
you
fan.
ever had what are the popcorn balls? Do you ever have the popcorn balls? No. Okay. That must be an old person thing. Because the popcorn ball, like that was the first thing we traded away. Like when we're trading with kids, I'm like, all right, popcorn ball goes. That Kit Kat comes over to Big Daddy. If you were having a trade, what would be the first thing to go if it's not dots? Like you had to trade a candy bar that was obviously not Kit Kat. What would it be?
Butterfinger.
You're not a Butterfinger fan either. Wow. Usually Kit Kat and Butterfingers go hand in hand.
She's quick on these reactions too. Like she's thought about this.
What is it? All right. Hey, we did this a few years ago during COVID. What is the top 5 candy bars?
Kit Kat, Snickers. Does Buenos count?
I don't even know what the heck that is.
Okay.
We'll take your word for it.
Twix and Crunch Bars.
I like it. Left Twix or right Twix?
Stop it. No political views on this show, Anthony. Is a Reese's cup a candy bar?
No.
All right, you're back in my good graces. You're in. Anytime you want to be on this show, you let me know. You're on. As long as we're not watching scary movies, we're good.
Right.
Maybe we'll have you on at Christmas when we're talking about Christmas movies, just to be safe.
She'd bring out Black Christmas.
I don't know
It's a scary movie.
Moving on, Anthony.
Okay. We'll move on, and Brianna, we'll thank you so much for your time. We love talking to you. We wish you the best of luck the rest of your senior season, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much. There she goes. That was a good interview.
Yeah. Absolutely. Senior on Springfield. I was like, my brain for a second just turned off. I don't know what to tell you. It was just like,
Yep. I broke Anthony. Like during that interview, somewhere you just snapped. Like you're done.
Oh man, it's great.
She's fantastic on the field. Fantastic. The pitch. I've been playing FIFA, so I'm trying to get my terminology down. I'm trying to get some soccer under my belt on my resume this year, and might not be a bad idea to go out and check out the Tigers. It sounds like.
How's Z been doing for soccer?
Good. As good as a 4-year-old can do, but goalie, he's all over it because Daddy's right behind the net, yelling "fumble, fumble." He gets that terminology. So while we're gonna keep soccer like in the realm, as you guys say on this show, I think football is probably more up his alley. He's fast. He's really, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
But avoiding contact is like his main thing now. Like he doesn't like when kids get in his way, but he is not afraid on defense to just absolutely slide tackle. Because we've been playing FIFA,
right?
And he sees it, and Daddy's go-to on FIFA is slide tackle, even if I get the yellow. And I may or may not have told him that they don't hand out yellow cards in pre-K, so he's just gonna go at it.
We already previewed the games on the network tonight, but I do want to give a shout out because there are a lot of things on the line tonight. So I want to give an extra shout out to not just Lakeview Jefferson, which will be on the network, which once again, any Yates superiority on the line for Lakeview, and if Jefferson wins, they'll force a 3-way tie. Garfield looking for a share of the MVAC against Crestview. Crestview looking to notch their outright championship, but also in the soccer world. Not going to say that word. Not going to do it. In soccer, Howland will go to Poland, and if Poland wins, they'll be in the driver's seat of the NE8. They still have a couple of league games to square up, so you can't say that they'll be a championship, but they'll definitely be in the driver's seat if they knock out Hubbard, who is sitting with 1 loss and 1 tie in the NE8. That 1 loss coming to Poland earlier in the season. So a lot on the line tonight. You can check it all out at ysnlive.com/live. Another thing you can check out is South Range player profile and coach's corner at Legends Food and Drink. DJ, you'll be there for that one. Also, if you're of the Ursuline variety and you want to go over to the Golden Dawn and check out Steve Leslie, he'll have a bunch of interviews with Ursuline. Left it with a left. Ursuline Athletics down there at the Golden Dawn at 7 o'clock as well. It'll be a fun night for Ursuline and South Range Athletics, and then we'll continue our trips through restaurants and live interviews with other teams throughout the rest of the week as well. But check all that out on ysnlive.com tonight/live for all your fun and good stuff. Casual Sports Podcast will be coming up next from 2 to 3. And DJ, I believe on the Power Hour, it's the day that we go over the computer points and how they stack up against our power rankings.
It's Computer Points Day. We're going to talk a little bit. My spark is going to be about professional fishing over the weekend. A very interesting story out of Lake Erie. And we're going to talk about that. And I'm excited. It's going to be a good show.
That's a great tease because now I'm like, well, what are we going to be doing?
Oh, buddy, it ain't. It's nothing to do with why I said it is the story of the year for me, and we had nothing to do with it. So I'm excited to bring it to people's attention.
So check that out at 3. Casual Sports Podcast is your sandwich in between. So check that out from 2 to 3. Me and Richie will be in the studio tomorrow from 12 to 2. We have a couple of golf interviews. So we have Shaylee Muckleroy from West Branch. We'll also have a couple of interviews with the Boardman girls golf team that just punched their ticket to districts yesterday. We will also Brian Tolnar maybe Wednesday or Thursday. So we don't know yet. So tune into both. That's a good way if you want to get your Brian Tolnar fix. Just tune into Wednesday and Thursday and have some fun. So thank you so much for tuning in today on Running Point.